said I got it.
You don't check your phone, man.
Man, I said I got it, man.
Peace to the original people of the creator. Welcome to another dish, Fresh Fire Friday. TY Reggie. Peace, God. What's up with you, man?
Another week, bro. These weeks flying by, man.
Shoot, this week. What about the year?
That's what I'm saying. These weeks are
God.
flying by,
Oh,
man.
you said weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, the year's gone, man.
Man. It's crazy. You said something about the years, man. I looked at I was looking at Joe Rogan earlier this week, and he had a guy on there. They was talking about what would you say a middle-aged person is in America right now? If you had to say middle age, what would that age be?
I would say like 40.
Well, you're pretty close because most Americans, when they ask that question, they say 50. Middle age, if you say 50, that's insinuating that you're gonna live to be 100.
Exactly.
So the average age of death in America is 64 years old. So 35, 36 is middle age right now.
Yeah. I was highballing it with 40, man. I was
you was that closer than what most would say, you know.
Yeah.
But what's been going on with you?
That, man, just maintaining, man. Just trying to keep it moving.
Oh, yeah. What we talking about today, man?
Man, you know we always switching lanes.
Let's do it.
All right, so what we're gonna get into today is we're gonna jump back into sports. We had some fun facts last week, but this Fresh Five, kind of continuing off some of what we did last week. I say, name one player from the following 5 categories, and you can speak on them briefly, however you want to, positively, negatively, however, however. So the 5 categories is: first, we're gonna say Major League Baseball. 2, because we do look at the comments and we do hear you, track and field. 3, boxing. 4, NFL, and 5, NBA. Those are the 5 categories. Give me one player from each category, however you want to speak on them for, however long.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and lead it off.
Okay.
I entitled my group of athletes as "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." The revolution will not be televised. So basically, this category is going. The athletes that I assembled are athletes that brought awareness to certain situations that was going on either currently or previously in our community as Black people. And the first one I added from the NBA is Kyrie Irving. And the word that I used to describe the reason why I chose Kyrie is it was curiosity. You know, like when Kyrie was curious, he took the time to see something, and his curiosity made him research something, knowing that there's more to us than picking cotton as slaves. So we gotta it's something more to us than what they want us to know. So he saw something and he thought it was a good idea to share it. I mean, he paid for it, but still, yet he brought awareness to it. The second person I picked was Colin Kaepernick, you know, and the word that I used to describe him, or words, is situational awareness. He probably had one of the most peaceful protests ever by taking a knee, and taking a knee during the national anthem is not disrespectful. It's the sign of mourning. It's it's equivalent to having a flag half staff when a VIP or someone important has lost their life. So by him taking the knee, it symbolized what was going on and still going on in this country with Black people in America, like police brutality, systematic racism. He took a knee to acknowledge those events. And baseball, it wasn't the MLB, but I chose the Negro League, and I chose Josh Gibson. And the word I used to describe Josh Gibson was awareness. I mean, and maturity, you know. But Josh Gibson made the Hall of Fame he made the National Baseball Hall of Fame and never played in the MLB. But he knew exactly what was going on in that time in the 30s and 40s. And he had to deal with a lot of racism. I mean, even at games and wherever he went, he had to endure a lot of racism. So I'm thinking with his experience and his awareness that he could probably be a part of this team that we're trying to organize. Boxing, I mean, I guess we probably picked the same person in boxing, which is Muhammad Ali, formerly known as Cassius Clay. He was given the name by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So with that being said, he's already acquired the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and the public speaking. So for this group, he would definitely be the public speaker and the one that represents this group in speaking up and acknowledging the things that we have to deal with in this country. And last but not least, for track and field, I chose Tommy Smith and John Carlos. And the word I used to describe them was intuitive. Intuitive means you did the research and what you found to be true, you're gonna stick with it and you're gonna stand by it. They took a chance. They wore the black glove, black socks, black shoes in the Olympics just to shine a light on poverty in the Black community in America. Do you know when we go overseas as military or you go represent the Olympics, the only time, that's the only time that as Black people we consider Americans. When you're in the country, you're separated, you're African American. So they were being treated like Americans in another country, but had to come back, but got family members that were starving and in different communities around America. So they wanted to bring attention to it. So the bottom line is this group is present and future and previous and present. They were fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. And in 2022, as Black people, we're still fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. So that's my 5.
Okay. And see, what I love about this topic this week is it's so many different lanes that you could take it. So you took it a place where you could educate our listeners on some of the people that look like us in sports that have done some stuff that stood out. On my list, I more so went with people that not necessarily stood out as far as in the community, but stood out for one reason or another to me. Which is cool about the different avenues we can go down. Yeah. So just jumping into my list, I kind of try to organize it according to probably, I ain't gonna say least favorite, but probably least favorite to everybody know how much diehard basketball fans me and you are. So I'm gonna start off with Major League Baseball. And the crazy thing about it, it was in my fun fact last week. So when I think of Major League Baseball, I think of Barry V. I think of Barry Bonds, right? Just last week, like I said, we had I gave the amazing fact about the 500 home runs and the 500 steals that no one has ever accomplished. Regardless, he's gonna always be a Hall of Famer in my book. But just a quick story about baseball. You know, I had like a little traumatic experience with baseball at a young age. So I never could say that I loved the game, wanted to play the game, or any of that good stuff. But it's certain players, no matter what sport they in, can draw you to it to an extent. And he was one of those. We tuned in when he was chasing the home run record, whatever. Hey, you know, if it's on TBS or whatever, man, he up the bat, you know. So that's my guy for Major League Baseball. Next, I'm gonna go to track and field. I love track and field. However, that's number 2 on the list opposed to the to boxing, NFL, and NBA. Track and field, man, track and field, man. When I think of track and field, I guess I think of Carl Lewis.
Okay.
Man, so in thinking of Carl Lewis, these are facts that I didn't even know about when I was researching for this list. He won gold medals in 84, 88, and 92. That's over a 12-year span. And in the 100, 200 long jump. That's the definition of an athlete. However, one of the things that Carl Lewis is known for that he did terribly is sing the national anthem. You know, so that's the one thing that he did.
That's what I wrote on my paper as soon as you said
it. He tried to sing the national anthem, man. Stick to what you know, Carl.
Oh man.
But that's my guy though, man. He was definitely coming up. He was that guy in track. The third sport I have is boxing. Now, I already know that you was gonna pick Muhammad Ali. We could always pick Muhammad Ali because he's the greatest. However, I picked Roy Jones Jr. Now, the reason why I picked Roy is he was the Muhammad Ali of my generation, so to speak, right? Without Roy, well, let me say without Muhammad, it wouldn't be no Roy. But without Roy, it wouldn't be no Floyd. Now, I could have picked Floyd because I got a lot of love for Floyd, but Floyd just took what Roy did to another level. But Roy was that guy before Floyd, and he didn't get the money, but he was just as hated. People tuned in because they wanted to see Roy get beat. And for so many years, man, nobody couldn't do anything with him. And the reason why I give Roy so much credit is I don't really think, and I could be wrong, but man, I watched so many of his fights. I don't think he really had much of a chin. It was just that he never got hit. He was so good for so many years, he never really got hit. When he started getting hit towards the end of his career, you know what I'm saying? It was a wrap, but I'm just saying though, and he was so unorthodox, but he has such a talent, you know what I'm saying, that it only comes around every once in a while. So when I think of boxing, I mean, I could have said Iron Mike, you know, because we saw them all. We saw some of the best boxing, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to shine some light on Roy because I think Roy, I want to say he kind of, Mike in a way too, but more so Roy kind of like diminished a little bit of his legacy, but he kept fighting towards the end. And I think some of the younger people, know him for that, but they don't know him for early in his career, how he was just destroying people, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to shine some light on Roy. Next, I'm gonna move to the NFL. And when I think of the NFL, I think of the GOAT. We debate all the time about Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and different ones. Some of the older people might say Dan Marino or whoever, but there is no debate on Jerry Rice. Is the GOAT of wide receivers. And the crazy thing about it is, coming up, watching him play, you knew that he wasn't the fastest. He didn't have the best hands, but no one could outwork this dude. His work ethic was bar none. And that's what kept him where he was at for so long. He was able to play. I know he played like what, 20 years? That's like who plays 20 years at receiver? You know? So I mean, I could see maybe a kicker hanging around. It's around what Tom Brady. Huh?
Vinatieri and Crosby and all them,
Yeah, I can see them doing that.
Crosby got a head full of white hair. He's still kicking the ball.
But it's unheard of, man. You still running routes. So he's definitely the GOAT in my book, and That's what I think of when I think he, he set the standard for that position. Last but not least, I'm gonna go to the National Basketball Association. Now, you threw me with your Kyrie, but I see where you was going with the meaningful history behind the people that you chose. I thought for sure you'll probably choose your boy LBJ.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna always choose MJ. Now, the reason why I choose MJ is because growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, this dude was like God to us, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I think of not just basketball, not just NBA, but basketball in general, you think of MJ. Has nothing to do with the GOAT conversation of his skill on the court. It's just he transcended basketball to a whole nother level. So just when you think of basketball in general, you just automatically, me anyway, automatically think of MJ. You know what I'm saying? I would hate you told me this one time before. I'll never forget it. You said, man, I love Hove, but I probably never want to meet him.
No.
And I feel that way about MJ. We don't know these guys personally, but I don't even want to meet them. Like, I'm not starstruck. I've been places, I've seen a lot of celebrities and different stuff over the years, but not saying that I would be. If anybody, I think I might be for him. However, I think it would probably be so disappointing. I don't even want to do it. You know what I mean?
He's definitely one of those though that if you ever, I think it's only a handful of people that can walk in a room and really, I don't care how many. It could be 1,000 people in the room, but they're gonna get all. They're gonna everybody. Star's gonna. He's a star. So
yeah,
he gonna make you nervous. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I heard you say you don't want to meet him. You don't even. He done gave us enough to know who he is. I don't want to meet Jay-Z. Don't give you he don't give you a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell by some of his lyrics and how he talks sometimes, he may have that little, like you may go up to him and say, hey, what's up, Jay-Z? Man, can I take a picture with you? He be like, no, man, get your old ass out of my face. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking one of the kids. Jordan like that. Jordan said he don't sign, he only signs kids' autographs. He say, I don't sign teenagers and grown people autograph.
I mean, the brash delivery, what's the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6?
Yeah. 15 to 20 grand, cocksucker, beat it. Yeah.
Say less, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
my Marcy.
Yeah. Nature moved to Marcy. Say
hey,
less.
but I like you pick baseball, didn't you pick Barry Bonds, right? But and you said something that was key. You said that we used to tune in. We used to tune in, but it wasn't just for Barry. We tuned in. We actually, that's probably the most baseball we watched. You know why? That was the steroid era.
Yeah.
That was the most, they need to put steroids, they need to stop testing for steroids in baseball because it's boring. It's boring. The highlights, it's so boring now. The highlights are them doing dumb stuff in the dugout. You know what I'm saying? Showing them playing around on like little kids. The game ain't even, I used to love seeing them home run derby. We used to watch it. Not no more. Carl Lewis, but you took it out my head. It's about, I thought about John Madden. John Madden had 3 different careers. He had a player, he was a coach, and the game. Unfortunately, today, they don't know nothing but Madden the game.
Yeah.
I think I was like a kid when he was coaching. I don't remember him as a coach, but I remember when the game started, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I can relate to him. I can say, oh, that's the dude that was coaching. I can see him doing that.
Yeah.
But generation before, they know him as a player. They've seen player, coach, and they don't play the game. So
They seen him as a commentator though,
it's
because
commentator. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, coach,
yeah,
commentator, game. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that was my list, bro. Like I said, man, I like where you took it with showing some of the history of people that look like us that stood for something in their respective sports. So
It's gonna really turn out.
that was dope.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, what you got for us this week, bro?
So I'm gonna do something different this week. I don't really got like a little quote, but I'm gonna end it with, I'm gonna just call out some names. Daryl W. Fair, Latoya T.T. Briggs, Tyrone Jeffrey Sr., and Bernard Bo Dixon Sr. All these individuals are gone, but not forgotten. Just remember, make sure people that you care about know it, because you never know how long you have with them, you know? So I just want to leave with that, you know, rest in peace. You're gone, but definitely not forgotten.
Oh yeah, 100%. Hey man, appreciate that. That was good, man. This is a good topic. Make sure everybody tune in because we're gonna go. It's gonna be a premiere. We're gonna have live. It's gonna go live just like it did last week. So make sure y'all tune in and enjoy this. But with that being said, thank y'all for listening to another edition Fresh Fire Friday with TY Reggie. Peace be unto you.